Hello, my dears. My name is Catherine Whitmore, and today I am going to tell you a personal story from my life in Oxford, England. This story will help you practice listening to English, learn everyday vocabulary, and understand expressions about love, trust, and forgiveness. Please listen carefully to the past tense verbs and the way we speak about emotions. My name is Catherine. I live with my husband Edward and our 12-year-old son William. Edward and I have been married for 12 years. We had a comfortable life, a beautiful old house with roses in the garden, family dinners on Sundays, and laughter in the evenings. Edward worked long hours as an architect. He was a good father and a good man. 6 months ago, we hired someone to help us at home. His name was Thomas. He came twice a week to clean the house, care for the garden, and sometimes watch William after school. At first, Thomas was simply our helper, quiet, polite, and always smiling. But one evening, when I came home late from work, things changed. Edward was still at the office. William was already asleep. Thomas was sitting in the kitchen, reading a book. I made some tea, and we began to talk. He told me about his life, how he had moved to Oxford from a small coastal town, how he lived alone and missed his family. That night, we spoke for hours. A week later, Edward had to travel for work. He was away for 3 days. On the first evening, Thomas and I had dinner together after William went to bed. We laughed. I felt warm and noticed. And then, without planning it, I kissed him. It was just a small kiss, but it felt enormous. I pulled away and said, "This is wrong." He said nothing, only looked at me. I told myself it would never happen again. But 2 days later, it did a longer kiss, a deeper connection. I was frightened. I had a secret now, and it was heavy. When Edward came home, life appeared normal. But inside, I was different. Every time I saw Thomas, I felt a fire inside me. Every time I looked at Edward, I thought of my mistake. Weeks passed. I couldn't sleep. I wanted to tell Edward the truth, but I was afraid it would break us. Then one day, I discovered Edward's secret. On his phone, I saw messages from another woman. Her name was Charlotte. He had been seeing her for months. At first, I was angry. But then, I realized I had done the same. We were both guilty. That evening, I told Edward everything. I told him about Thomas, about the nights when he was away. My voice shook. I cried. He was silent, then said, "I've been seeing someone too." We sat there, shocked. And then, for the first time in months, we talked and really talked. We decided we still loved each other and wanted to try to repair our marriage. The next day, we let Thomas go. We also agreed to see a marriage counselor. Counseling was hard. We had to talk about why we had both looked for attention outside our marriage. I told Edward I had felt lonely. He told me he had felt unappreciated. Rebuilding trust took time. Edward began coming home earlier. We had family dinners again. Weekends became family time walks. walks along the river, picnics in the park, films by the fireplace. Months later, we were stronger. 1 year after everything, Edward took me on a weekend trip to Cornwall. On the last night, he gave me a new wedding ring. "A fresh start," he said. Tears filled my eyes. We were not perfect, but we were honest now. We had survived our mistakes. My dear viewers, I share this story because it is full of lessons not only for life, but for language learning. You have practiced listening to real emotions, past tense verbs, and expressions for relationships. Remember, in English, as in life, communication and honesty are essential. If you enjoyed this story, please listen again to improve your comprehension and share it with someone who might learn from it. Until next time, keep learning, keep listening, and keep speaking.